Here's 10 things you need to know about using moving averages with your trading, and I'll leave timestamps for all of the tips down in the description below. Firstly, how do we calculate a moving average? A moving average takes the price of an asset over a given time frame. So let's say that we have a 5-day moving average. We take the price on each of those days, so day 1, day 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we multiply them together and we divide by how many periods that we're looking at. So a 5-day moving average would take the price, added up and multiplied over those 5 days, divide it by the number of days, which is 5, and then you get your answer, and you plot that over time each and every day, moving away from the latest time period. So you would cancel this out, you would go to the 6th day, and you would obviously choose 1 to 5 again, divide by 5. Each day that is plotted on the chart, and that creates a line for us that we can use with our trading. Here's how to add moving averages onto your chart. I'm using TradingView, which is completely free. I highly recommend it. I'll link them below as well. And if you need a video guide on how to get set up on TradingView, I'll link that in the description. But for any trading system, simply go to the chart that you want to look at. I'm going to go to indicators in the top, and then just search for moving average. You want a simple moving average, so click this. And for most trading systems, you can click it again to add a second moving average on the chart. We can now change the length of our moving averages. That is the number of sessions that we calculate. So up here in settings, go to inputs and then length right here. Anything up to around a 50 period moving average is considered short term, 100 periods is medium term, and 200 periods is longer term. A period can be anything that you choose. It depends on the chart time frame that you're looking at. For me, I'm on the weekly chart right here. So what this means, if we go to settings and length, is that the length is weeks. If you change to a day chart like this, then these moving averages, if you go to settings, this will now be a 9-day chart because I'm on the daily chart. That would be 9 days. If we go back to the weekly chart, my moving average is now 9 weeks. That obviously creates a completely different moving average, even though you're looking at the same length. Because you're calculating days versus weeks, the line is going to be at a completely different level. So it's important to know that. You can also change these around. 50 periods short term, 100 periods medium term, 200 periods longer term. So let's choose a 50 period moving average. Notice that when I press OK, the line will change because it's calculating a completely different time horizon now. And on the other one, we're going to choose a 100 period and press OK. The line changes again. So the only difference here is that the white line is calculating 50 weeks as a moving average and then moving that along. The blue line right here is calculating 100 weeks. Notice how the small moving average, the white line here, because it's 50 periods, is tracking the actual traded price more closely. That's because it's taking much more of the most recent prices and weighting that much more heavily, rather than the 100 period, which is taking a much longer time horizon of prices. And so the most recent prices don't affect the line as much. Moving averages can very clearly show us trends in the price of assets. So what I'm going to do is take away the price chart, which is very volatile here. You can go to the settings and press hide. Now you can very easily see trends in the price. We have a very strong uptrend here, which is a tradable event. You have this consolidation or slowly moving uptrend here, and then we get this massive acceleration, which is potentially tradable. And then you have a stalling out of the uptrend. You can see the trend is actually just rolling over and starting to cool down. And you have a downtrend here. You can also see where the downtrend starts to cool off, and actually that downtrend is potentially reversing, moving into an uptrend again. Those are very clear to see. And because we're looking at a moving average of the price, we're actually smoothing out the price action. And so these trends, the movement in the trends, tends to be quite a strong signal because it's not just one day's price action. You're seeing a real long-term movement in the trend of the asset. Putting the asset back, if you would have traded these movements in the trend, you would have had some pretty good entries on your trades. You'll often notice that moving averages act like a magnet to the price. The price always interacts with these moving averages. And if you're in a bull market, what you may see is prices come into the moving average, and traders use this as an opportunity to bounce the price back up and actually carry on the trend that pulls the moving average up. However, on some occasions, what will happen in bear markets, or if the market is selling off, is that you'll come into the moving average. You may get some support here for a little while, but then you break through it down, obviously creating that bear market or the downtrend. The reason is traders and investors often dollar cost average into trades. So let's say that I buy Bitcoin once a week. Well, my price is going to be the 50 period moving average, right? If I buy for 50 weeks, my average price is going to be the same as the 50 period moving average. And so as the price moves in to the 50 period moving average, if I'm still bullish and other traders are still bullish, we're going to use this as a great opportunity to buy some more around our average price. And so buyers come in and push the price up. However, if I and other traders are bearish and we're just wanting to get out of our trades, we're going to be very nervous around this price and we don't want to make a loss. And so traders will often sell more here, causing that downtrend to occur. And so what we can see with the moving average, if we put it back on, is that the interaction really does play out. So the price came into the 50 period moving average and then traders were still bullish, so the price bounced. During this period here, the bear market was starting a huge downtrend. We tried to find support around here, but sellers just wanted to get out and not make huge losses. That obviously creates further selling pressure and you reject from that. So support and resistance, right? This is support here and the price moving into resistance here. Now, the moving average doesn't create the bull and bear markets, but it is uncanny how many times the price interacts with the moving average. And if you see the reaction from that, you can trade around that. For example, here, we broke through the moving average. We tested it. Buyers really wanted to pile in here and the price moved up. So because you use this as support, that's obviously a trading event where the price moves from the moving average upwards. You can trade that as well. As we can see here, we also move right into the 50 period moving average. The market is still very bullish and they want to use this as an opportunity to add more, which causes a further price spike. The daily traded price of an asset is often too volatile to really understand what is happening to the longer term trend of an asset. And it's very difficult to try and make price predictions or trade predictions from the actual price chart. So what traders often do with moving averages is often use two moving averages to figure out what's happening in the short or medium term versus the longer term trend. So what I'm going to do is add the 100 period moving average back. And then what we can do is take the price chart off again. Now what we can see here very clearly, the 50 period here, the small moving average in white, and the large moving average, 100 period moving average in this blue color. We obviously have a very big bull market where the short-term price action is moving very strongly to the upside. So what you can see is the change here, the delta here changes, right? You can see that the price is moving along quite smoothly, nothing much is happening. It's a very volatile move to the upside, and the small moving average, the delta is getting very, very big here, right? Now, that doesn't often carry on forever. So at some point, the price just gets a bit tired. The market gets a bit tired and then tends to just cool off a bit. Now, of course, you can trade this if there's a very strong price action upwards. That's very good, showing us there's a big uptrend. As the price starts to move down again, right, then this crossover is obviously, known as bearish, where the price action short term is selling off very, very aggressively. All right, and so do you want to buy this? If you think the bull market is continuing, maybe you want to buy that. You think it's going to meet support. But as you can see, as this crossover happens, this is very clearly a washout. Now, what you can do with the moving average is, if you're a buyer, then obviously you want to wait for that uptrend again. You can see that the lower moving average or the small moving average starts to actually round out here. And so the bear market and the downward price action is very clearly slowing. Now, you want to wait for confirmation of this maybe, because you don't know if we're going to go back down into another bear market. Once the moving average crosses over here, this is confirmation that that trend is probably over, right? That downtrend is now crossing over and moving back up into an uptrend. And so you can use these two moving averages to really time trades better. If you want to time the trend, you can wait for this confirmation as it moves up. Now, of course, you never know because we can use this as a rejection as well. But you can see how the price moves short term, and that can create some opportunities for us to actually time trades better, or at least give confirmation as to where the trend is headed, because these trends tend to last for a very long time. So if you just catch it right, you can actually catch that trend in the price. To help with your trading, it's often beneficial to add a moving average with a length that is much longer than the period that you're trading. So I'm on the daily chart here, and I want to look at a 20 period moving average to show me short-term trading price action. But the 100 period, the 100-day moving average, isn't really showing me much either. The price action is too noisy. You can see that you're not really getting any information. I mean, the 20 period is crossing through to the downside, then to the upside, then to the downside, and the price is moving everywhere. It's not giving me much information. So what I can do is actually go to the longer moving average, so the 100 period. I'm going to go to settings here. And down here where it says time frame, I'm not going to choose the daily chart. If you just click chart, then the price is going to move on whichever time frame that you have the chart on, which for me right now is the daily. I'm going to choose this 100 period to actually calculate 100 weeks. So I can go to the 1 week here, press OK. And now the 100 is the 100 week moving average, not the 100 day. That's giving me much more information about the actual trend of this asset. The longer term trend clearly is that we're in an uptrend, right? So even though there is some volatility here, right, we can see that during this, actually the trend of the asset is still to the upside, right? And in fact, the price is still actually quite strong in relation to that trend. And prices often come back to these longer term trends like the 100 week. And so even here, even though the price is selling off, it's nowhere near coming into this trend. And it actually reached a support level here and started to move higher again. This shows that we're actually still in a very strong trend. Now notice that we're trying to test the 100 week moving average now. We're getting a little bit of support here as traders come in. We'll have to see if we bounce through this and move to the upside again or actually break through. Then you can look at some longer term moving averages like the 200 period to consider that if you are selling off, as I said, you often go to these longer term moving averages like magnets. Do you want to maybe put a buy order in here and a buy order in at the 200 week moving average? And so you can use this. So even if you're trading shorter term, using different time frames for your moving averages is going to give you a really good look into the market as where the price may go, or where the actual longer term trend is. For long-term investors, using something like the 200 period moving average is a great indicator to show us where prices are very overbought or expensive in relation to a trend, or very oversold or cheap in relation to a trend. So we're looking at the 200 week moving average here. This shows us over a very long period of time the trend of the asset. You can see that the trend of the asset is to the upside. And so investors, if you're just buying every week over 200 weeks or more, then that's what your portfolio is going to look like over time. We can also look at the traded price to show us if the price is a bit expensive or a bit cheap in relation to the trend. So when the delta here is very high, like this, to the upside, that's showing you that the price itself isn't extremely good value in relation to the longer term trend rate of growth. Remember, this 200 period moving average is showing us what the actual growth rate of the asset is. If you're a long-term investor, the growth rate is this line right here. So when the price is very high, this isn't great value for this asset. Now, it won't always come right back into the line, but at some point, if the growth rate is, let's say, 20% a year, and in the last year it's grown at 200%, something has to give eventually where that growth rate over that very short period of time has to eventually calm down a bit. If it didn't, then this longer term moving average would have a slope of 200%, right? It'd be 200% yearly growth. But it isn't. So we can find out the natural growth rate of the asset by using the longer term moving average and the slope, and we can work out the annual rate of return over time. If prices are very high away from that, the price isn't exactly great value. If prices are near this, then the price is trading around about its trend rate of growth. And if prices are underneath this line, then this is very deep value. It's great value to buy here if you consider that the longer term trend rate of growth will continue. A major issue with moving averages is that they are by definition backwards looking and lagging indicators. And so if you're using crossovers to trade, you may have already missed most of the move. For example here, if you're looking at the 50 period moving down through the 100 period, that's obviously a bearish crossover as the short-term trend is very negative, pulling down the moving average. But if you would have waited till here to go short or, take a sell, then you've almost reached the bottom of the move while selling. You are way too late. Also on the upside here, we have a bullish crossover with the 50 period moving through the 100 period. If you waited until now to buy, then you still would have made a good trade because the trend continued. But you would have waited until 40,000 to buy, when really the bottom of the move down here was in the 20s or even under that. So they are lagging, and so if you're using just crossovers to trade, then you could be a bit late to the trade. Another key tip when trading or investing is to find out what the standard deviation of your asset is, or its volatility. Each asset has a different standard deviation, so Bitcoin is much more volatile than the S&P index, for example. but when the price actually breaks through its moving averages, what tends to be the size of the move here? That's going to give you much more information about current prices and where the moving averages are, and the current prices that you may expect if a break occurs. So for example, for Bitcoin, it broke through its 100-week moving average here, and you can see that it actually carried on to around a minus 45% move away to the downside from its moving average. We also had a big break here, which happened to be around a 40% move. Obviously, we had a big bull market here, and so the move was at the top around 300% away from that moving average, a very big move. It tends to then come back into the moving averages, and so we can see this bear market was actually a 50% move below the 100-week moving average. And that's just going to give you a lot better idea of, well, if we have a really bad bear market, we could get to maybe 50,000 here, 45,000. If we have a very big bull market, maybe 100 or 200% above the moving average. That's going to give you a much better idea of the types of prices that you may be able to see. I'll leave the link to TradingView down in the description. I'll leave some deposit and trading bonuses on the exchanges I use down in the description as well. If you click those as a new user, you can get some great bonuses. I'm James, this is MoneyZG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.